just leave it on the floor and move on. That doesn't work because that's all she's going to think about.
A little mini gummy bears. Okay. Now what else? You know what you were looking at earlier? You were looking at these mini jawbreakers. Get your spoon. Okay, very careful. Okay, that's good. Stop.
I'm spoon man. You're good. Nope.
Screech to a halt. Hold on. I was editing this video back here, the one that you're currently watching right now, and the situation came up in the video where I turned off the camera, but I wanted to explain a little more for a couple different reasons. Maybe one reason. That's my editing right there. That's actually my weather station that I relocated to my office, since really I'm the only one that looks at it, so I figured I'll just put it in the office. Let's check the temperature real quick before I continue. Right now it's 83 degrees with a wind of 2.5 miles per hour. Our pool temperature is at 91 degrees. That's just the surface. It's hot outside. In conclusion of the weather, it is hot outside. Okay, I wanted to stop the video right here because I wanted to talk about something specifically. Braylee dropping the little mini jawbreakers on the ground. I would say Braylee and Stacy dropping them on the ground.
It was really full.
It was very full. The container was really full. It was almost impossible not to drop at least a few on the ground. Something I want to point out though is I stopped recording immediately because when something falls onto the ground, I had to throw that camera aside, attempt to help pick those up before Braylee got to him. So what Braylee is going to do in that situation is grab those jawbreakers off the floor, put them right back into that container where they came from, because that is what she does. Her impulses say that's what she has to do. Even if we're saying, no, Braylee, don't put them there, she's going to attempt to still put them in there. That's the thing with OCD. They're uncontrollable impulses, and her impulse is telling her those have to get back in that container. They cannot be on the floor. I think I would have been more okay with them going from the floor into the bag, even though that's still gross. But I really don't want those to go back in the container, because then we're going to have to go tell an employee that stuff off the ground got put in there, and I'm sure they then would have to dump the whole thing. And so, yeah, I really didn't have to do much because Stacey actually got to him before I did. Because she's on the same page as me. We both had to go clean like we're both on our toes, right?
We know what's happening, what comes next. We're not new to this gig.
So I just want to talk about that because if you... maybe you come across a kid in public that you see the same type of situation where you see parents like panicking when something falls to the floor. Maybe they're going through the same type of thing. I just want to say, hey, give those parents some grace, because that's what we have to do. We're always on our toes for those types of things. We learn these things over the years of what Braylee's going to do in almost every situation, I feel like. I feel like we're pretty knowledgeable of what's going to happen when something happens. You want more feathers, Braylee? Like right now, Braylee's crawling on the ground looking for feathers. Oh, what did I do with the feathers, Braylee? Oh, they're here. I have more feathers for ya. Braylee likes stimming with feathers, by the way. Feathers!
Like craft feathers, yes.
Crafting feathers. She's like seeing them float and stuff.
Better than dog hair.
It is better than dog hair. Yeah, dog hair is free when you have a dog. But yeah, feathers.
I mean, you're paying for the dog anyways.
It's true.
Feed it, care for it, love it.
I just want to point that out because you might come across someone doing the same type of thing, panicking when something drops to the floor. Maybe even a struggle because you might see us like holding back Braylee from getting back to the candy because she's about to put some stuff inside the container. We have to do whatever we can to make sure that does not happen. Braylee doesn't understand it. She's just, the impulses are taking over and she has to do it. No matter what we say, what we do, she has to do it. So we have learned that works with her is we pick them up off the ground. We have to get them to them before she does, first of all. We have to get to them, pick them up off the ground, and keep them in our hand. Otherwise, she's gonna grab them. Hide and redirect. So in this case, hide. Hey, look, there's a lot more candy to look at here. Which candy? I think it's easier environment there to redirect because there's a lot to see in a candy store. So it was easier to redirect her to a new task. But there are some times where it's a lot harder to redirect from something like that. An example, we were eating at Noodles and Company and just dropped mac and cheese on the floor. You can assume that was not an easy situation and how quickly that can become unsanitary. We have to get to those spills before she does. We have to clean them up ourselves, otherwise she's going to clean them up. It'll go right back where it came from. If we try to leave the situation, like just leave it on the floor and move on, that doesn't work because that's all she's going to think about, and she's going to continually find a way back to that spot to get that cleaned up. I want to point that out because you might see that in public someday, someone going through that. Just give those parents some grace, you know. If you see some parents like holding their kid back from getting to something that was spilled on the ground, maybe they leave it on the ground and they just have to leave. Maybe that's why. I don't know. All right, let's continue. Let's get back to Chicago. How about that? Chicago. I see pumpkins.
I see pumpkins.
Oh, pumpkins. Back to Chicago. Back to Chicago. Get down there to Dunkin' in the morning. Right there. That's exactly where we need to go. Oh, wow. I think we didn't expect to be so tired. I tell you what, though. Braylee's slime experience today.
Oh, that was fantastic. She had a great time.
If Braylee could spend a couple hours there a week, she'd probably always be just ready to go. Afterwards, she just seemed so excited for a little bit, then just chill. Yes, she had some issues with the big wheel, the Navy Pier wheel, but the line was so long
For both the tickets and the ride itself.
Yeah.
It was so long. She really wanted to go. Like, she kept pushing our bodies and redirecting us that way. But eventually we moved past it, and I'm so proud of her for doing that.
Yeah, and I think overall today was alright. We were gonna go to a beach today, but there's no parking, and we just kind of gave up on it and came back to the hotel.
It was just kind of a last-ditch way to spend a little time before coming.
Is that okay with you that we didn't go to the beach? Why do you make me yawn?
See, I told you we're tired. It was really more so just like a last-ditch effort of, well, we're kind of here, so why not try? But
Tomorrow we have a couple things planned.
it had too much effort for our level of energy, I think. Because if we really wanted to, we could have made it, but it just...
Tomorrow we have a couple more fun things planned.
It's supposed to be rainy, so they'll be indoor things mostly, but...
For tonight, it's just food and sleep, I think. Food and sleep. After day one, I would say that if you were to visit Chicago, go to the slime place if you have someone that likes slime. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's busy. Chicago's definitely a busy place. We expected it. Chicago is definitely a busy place. A lot of lines, a lot of people, a lot of cars. I think my least favorite thing is driving in big cities, but gotta do it to get around. I think tomorrow we're gonna try to actually walk to Millennium Park. What do you think about walking early in the morning for a sunrise?
As long as it's not, like, raining.
I don't know when sunrise is. Hey, see...
When you forget your Apple Watch.
Just talking to my wrist.
You're just talking to your arm hairs and you think they're gonna answer you.
Hey, when's sunrise? When is it?
Sunrise happens at 6:57 a.m.
Ooh. Ouch.
See, yeah, it was last night.
5:57 a.m. That means we would have to start walking from here at 5:30 a.m. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll be lucky if we get there by 8 a.m.
You can go. Braylee and I can stay here.
That just changed everything. For now, we need food. She's already back to model magic, similar to slime. But we got some slime packs, or some slimes from the place that will break out when we get home for her. And that will probably bring back some memories. I think it was just I don't know. That 2-hour moment, that 2 hours for her, probably worth this whole trip.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be extra. Expensive, but extra. Good night. See you tomorrow. Signing out from Chicago.